My name is David Harrison. I'm a linguist and a National Geographic explorer. Some people think a linguist is a person who speaks many languages. Actually, a linguist is a scientist who studies language. There are more than 7,000 languages spoken in the world, and I have personally explored more than 400 of them. I do this by talking with people in many different places to learn about the knowledge they want to share. I study endangered languages. These are languages that have very few speakers and may disappear. I use a notebook and a pencil to write down the sounds of a language. Sometimes I use an audio or video recorder, and I make the first ever recordings of these languages. In my work, I've talked with hunters and reindeer herders who live in the northern forests of Siberia. In India, I've met traditional healers. And in the Pacific Islands of Vanuatu, I've sailed with fishermen in traditional wooden boats. All these people speak endangered languages. In my work, I ask a lot of questions. For example, if I want to know about grammar, I ask speakers for simple sentences like, how do you say, I see a sheep? By listening to them, I can figure out how many different sounds are in the language and how they build words and sentences. I collect as many words as I can, and I create talking dictionaries. This makes me a lexicographer, a person who creates dictionaries. In my work, I don't only ask questions, though. I listen a lot, too. By listening, I learn many new things I didn't think to ask. Often, people want to discuss the environment. They want to share stories about bear hunting, fishing, or herding reindeer. These are fun and interesting stories to hear. By listening to these stories, I have learned that indigenous people know a lot about plants, animals, and the natural world, often much more than scientists know. For example, my friend Anselon Seru in Vanuatu is a fisherman. He can name 250 different kinds of fish. My teacher, Marta Kongarayeva in Siberia, never got lost in the forest because she knew and could name every part of the land. This forest is hundreds of miles wide. And my friend Anthony Deggio in India can name many different plants that are used to help sick people. This knowledge is very valuable, but it's disappearing. In my work, I want to raise awareness about this. I also want to help these communities preserve their languages and their knowledge. I call this work environmental linguistics. It helps us understand how language connects to the environment. We all ask questions to get information we need. I do this in my work every day. But by listening and being open to others, I've learned so much about language, people, and our world, much more than I ever expected to.